Here's something very few people admit. You can confidently negotiate budget lines but hesitate to claim your own creative worth. In fact, 70% of high performing creatives struggle with imposter syndrome, so your self doubt doesn't mean you are not enough. If your brand voice is bold but your own voice feels muted, let's change that today. You are brilliant at telling powerful brand stories, but when it comes to telling your own story, you freeze, you overthink, you question your value. Why is that? That blank page isn't writer's block. It is fear. Fear of being fully seen, of being fully you, fear of not measuring up. But self doubt doesn't stem from incompetence, it stems from forgetting who we truly are. So, in this video, you are going to learn six grounded, soul aligned steps to turn consistent self doubt into rooted self trust without toxic positivity. Stick around, you will also hear how to join my free live masterclass that dives deeper into creative clarity and identity healing. Hi, I am Twamika Sen, shadow work mentor, journaling guide, authenticity coach, and founder of Detangle Your Thoughts. I used to freeze at my own name, even though I built stories for others. Now I help corporate creatives reclaim their voice from perfectionism and self doubt, one small step at a time. So let's get to the six steps. Yeah. So, what are the micro steps that you can start doing right away to reclaim your voice, to be able to speak confidently, to be able to let go of that relentless self doubt? First, you need to trace the original voice, that is the voice of your inner critic. Second, set imperfect action challenges. Like try something for the first time, knowing it will be imperfect, but do it anyway and then put out your work anyway. Build a self evidence bank, the things that you have been doing in favor of your self trust. The more this list gets longer, the more your self trust gets rooted. Try this. Practice micro self-honesty. Keep the promises that you make to yourself. Find a safe space for your unmasked voice. It could be in your own, like your own voice notes, or it could be confiding in a friend who really gets you. Use the reverse proof method. We will understand this. So now let's get into each secret with a little bit more depth. So the first step is to trace the original voice. Whose voice is it that questions you? Identify the source of recurring self-criticism, that is your inner critic, but it is usually an external voice. It could be a parent, a teacher, or a culture that prioritized performance. Here's a prompt for you. Write three self-doubt thoughts, three predominant ones, the ones that hold you back the most. Then ask who first made me feel that way. Very important. The trace doesn't fix everything, but it helps you unhook from inherited beliefs. So the moment you trace that first incident, you are like, okay, so this was not my thought all along. It was external, it was somebody else's. And that is a beautiful revelation. The second step is to set imperfect action challenges, actions, not ideas, build confidence. Post before perfecting, send drafts before refining, make one imperfect decision a week. Though those intentional micro fails teach your nervous system that you are safe regardless of polish. And it is not so bad to make mistakes. It is not so bad to fail, right? Build a self evidence bank, the third step. Self doubt is fueled by forgetting. Every day, write one time you stood up for yourself, one thing you did well, one boundary you set or desired or desire you voiced. Okay? So store these moments in a journal or a folder where you can go back to them and remind your inner critic who is really in charge. Practice micro self honesty. The fourth step. Don't fix every feeling, own it, accept it, declare it. Name I am jealous without shame. I am scared without apology. I want more without guilt. This simple practice helps you hear yourself without judgment because all these feelings are very, very human and they are not something you should be ashamed of. That is the takeaway here. So you begin to hear yourself, you begin to listen to your body and your mind without judgment. This is the foundation of self trust. The fifth step, find a safe space for your unmasked voice. Now that you have admitted it to yourself, you got to voice it to others as well. If only if you only feel safe performing, self-doubt will always resurface. So create a zone, a journal, a voice memo, or a trusted friend or a group where you speak without striving. Let your real voice rest and rise. That is where clarity begins. Like it should be a space where you don't have to feel the pressure to sound smart or to sound impeccable. You can be imperfect and yet you can be you. That is how you will discover your true voice that is buried under performance. So this is very important. The sixth one and my favorite one is use the reverse proof method. Doubt asks, what if I fail? Right? All the time. So you respond, but look how often I have showed up anyway. Ask, when did I act even though I was scared? When did I speak up even when shaking? Let your past courage become the proof of your worth. Okay? So whenever self-doubt pops in, counter question it. That way you can silence it. So let's recap. If you have ever asked, why can't I feel confident even though I am great at what I do? Here's what is really happening. Self-doubt is rooted in identity wounds. Perfectionism is feared in polished clothing. Self-trust is built, not found. These six steps changed my creative voice and led me back to me. So, what can be your next step here? If you are finally ready to break free, join me this Friday, August 1st at 7:30 p.m. IST for my 90 minutes free webinar, Unmask Your Passion, where we dive deeper into creative identity, emotional clarity, and reclaiming your soul-aligned voice. Register now via the link in the description. Spots are limited. So, my closing thought for today would be don't wait to feel ready. Your voice, not perfect, not polished, but real, is your path to freedom. If this video hit home, like, comment, I am choosing clarity over perfection. Share with a creative soul who deserves a breakthrough. Subscribe for more soulful strategy and identity healing. You already have the worth. Now let's rebuild the belief. I am Twameka. See you in the next one. Thank you and bye.